Then guys, Martin Martinez back again. We're going to get into respect to this particular video. Now, this is a video that I just want to do a quick video on. It's something which again is quite prevalent. It's something that we see from time to time, probably quite often, but may not necessarily always be reported. But nonetheless, you cannot escape social media. You cannot escape the impact that this can have on careers and lives and so forth. Now, I'm wearing this particular shirt on this particular occasion because I've lived in Paris. I've been there. J'étais dans le 19e quand j'habitais là-bas. I enjoyed my time there. And again, there's a lot of African presence in Paris. That's number one. But at the same time, there's a lot of people who have come from obviously African descent and so forth and born in Paris. You take Mbappe, for example, Pogba, for example, individuals that are well known in the French national team and they are of African origin, or they could be mixed race, whatever it may be. That being said, this particular scenario, this particular circumstance, let's talk about it. This is Enzo Fernández, and again his apology to Chelsea's team and Chelsea and the teammates regarding a racist chant following the cup that they won, Latin American Cup, that they won as part of obviously the national squad for Argentina. Now, I can just do a quick read from The Guardian. The Guardian is saying that he's apologised to his teammates in a private message because he was caught chanting racist and homophobic slurs. And again, he came to the UK in January from Benfica in 2023, and he's been fined and been put on a racism education course. Now, realistically, what does that mean? He's just going to get a slap on the wrist. He's not going to lose his job because ultimately Chelsea's a business. If he is to, if he is to not play and perform well, they'll get rid of him. But realistically, will his teammates, and again, some of them have unfollowed him on, I understand, on Instagram and different things like that, will his teammates still support him? If they find that this individual is not getting support on the pitch from the teammates and is falling out with them in that way, realistically, will the Chelsea keep him? I don't know. It's kind of neither here nor there from my perspective. But at the end of the day, this guy is not struggling. So what's a fine to him? What is a fine realistically? You know, even if it was a 50 grand fine, 100 grand fine, I don't really know if you can go far enough. We've seen elements of racism in football being a constant theme. You know, certain parts of the world, I understand not everybody's racist, but certain parts of the world, it seems to be just like a joke. It's just something that, you know, the players on the pitch could be for your own team and they're still getting racist abuse. I've seen it in Argentina. It can happen in Italy. Parts of Germany as well. It's like what are these black players supposed to do? You know, not being funny, but if you can see someone's got talent, you can see someone's got skill, their race shouldn't actually come into it whatsoever. So genetically, there may be certain traits that certain, races have that may be beneficial for this particular sport. And we can, let's be honest, we can see that in basketball, for example, in America. You see that it's predominantly black people that are in that type of sport. But that doesn't necessarily mean that there's not other races in there. You know, it's a question from my perspective, it's a question of how good is that person to achieve what you want to achieve. We see it when it comes to football because, again, and what I don't understand is specifically these particular individuals, you know, on that coach, when they're making this type of chant, it seems to be that this is part of the culture, it's embedded in the culture. And what's so sad as well, there are black Argentinians, however much people look at it and think, oh, well, no, it's just not, it's just white people. That's not the truth. There are black Argentinians that actually were there. They've been there. It's nothing new. But at the same time, you know, let's look at Brazil. Brazil apparently seems to be one of the most racist places in the world if you're black. But at the same time, you know, who's the best and well-renowned Brazilian player? Being Pele is a black guy. You know, the Spanish football team now, we're looking at players, Williams and so forth. Yamal, final point on this one. So one thing I'm struggling to understand is, you know, when you reach a certain level, when you reach a certain scenario where, again, financially you set up, you've got all your things in a row, and again, you've got generational wealth effectively, you know, if done properly. Why is it that the base scenario comes back to, okay, let's joke and laugh about race? And all that says to me is quite clear that it's in the culture of Argentine society to have that type of scenario, you know, especially in the sports at least. I can't say generally, but it seems to be sports-wise, culturally, it seems to be a joke to let's focus on race and do things. And all that says to me, realistically, is like, what they're so afraid of. You know, the planet, technically, it's all one planet. So what are they so afraid of happening? And if these guys, again, in the scenario that they're in, they've just won a cup, and you know, as a joke, the best thing they can do is go and laugh and behave in this particular way. That says so much about who they really are. You know, I can't accept and say, well, okay, Chelsea are going to fine them, everything else. It means nothing. What does a fine mean in this scenario? Just someone who's, you know, already a millionaire, they've got sponsorship deals, and they've just won, you know, a trophy as well in that regard. Doesn't really mean that much. So let them fine him. It's not going to change anything. Chelsea don't give a damn, and I don't really think it's going to change much anyway. At the end of the day, until these guys feel it financially, usually that's the only real way to make any real difference. But, you know, I just don't think racism football is going to change anytime soon. There's multiple nations, multiple ethnicities that play football around the world. And I just don't see why that now seems to be, you know, a thing of we're just going to just treat it just so and there's think nothing more of it. So, quite disappointing, guys. That's just my thoughts on it. I just want to do a video on this one. I know it's not fully in theme with the channel, but at the same time, you guys have been supportive as well in some respects. So I'll see your comments down below. Peace.